Are you ready to bamboozle your way to productivity? Well, get ready to meet my Panda, the personal assistant next door app, where delegation meets liberation in the digital age.
Next Pitch TV showcases the most innovative equity crowdfunding campaigns for the verdict of the crowd.
Imagine having your very own personal assistant at your fingertips, ready to tackle tasks big and small with the efficiency and dedication of a panda munching on bamboo. That's exactly what my Panda offers. An innovative solution for busy individuals looking to reclaim their time and streamline their lives. I'm thrilled to introduce you to the brains behind this ingenious venture, Tamara Lucas. She is the dynamic entrepreneur whose vision and passion are driving this campaign to new heights.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Tamara, for coming on to Next Pitch TV, where we showcase the most innovative equity crowdfunding campaigns for the verdict of the crowd. And I have to say, I was looking at your campaign, and I like the summary, the personal assistant next door app.
Yes.
That's pretty descriptive, where the goal is to achieve liberation through delegation. I love it. So tell us, please, if you would, how did you first come up with this in the first place?
So I basically came up with this because it's something that I desperately needed, as any true problem should be. I live here in Atlanta, and I was a single mom working. I was running a couple businesses and, just trying to get everything done. And one day I was having lunch with a friend of mine who was working as a dog walker. And she was like, my gosh, I go in these people's houses. They give me their key. I go in, I walk their dogs. They've never met me before. The dogs are their babies. They completely trust me. But oh my Lord, their kitchens are a disaster. I could easily clean that up for them. I'm right there. If they just want to give me $20, I would be happy to do that. So I was like, wow, I could really use my kitchen to be cleaned up for $20. So I was like, there's so many people like my friend who have little bits of time, who live right around us in our neighborhood, who could step in and be that sort of village of support and helping hand that so many of us need. So that was like the birth of the idea. And then it just sort of started progressing from there. I intended for it to just be something in my neighborhood at the very beginning. And the more and more people I talk to about it, they're like, oh, when can you come to Colorado? When are you coming to Miami? Can you come to New York? And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. I think this is something that we actually need to actually look at solving in a larger, scalable way. So that's the birth of it.
Fantastic. Now, this is your first startup, is that correct? Or
my first tech startup, yeah. I've done a couple small businesses, like in sales. I started a wine sales collective of small wineries. That's what I did for many years. And then prior to that, I was a social worker and special ed teacher. So I've had a varied career.
And now, so in this case, as you say, it's the first tech one, which means that, as the name implies, it's an app. How did you even get started with that unless you do programming yourself?
Well, again, I had no idea. When we were coming up with this idea, I was like, well, it'd be so cool. We could just create an app and then people could put in a request. It would go out to all of us and we'd pick, other people would pick up the job. So I had no idea what that really even meant to build an app. So I at the time was really going to have it be very, very local. So I started interviewing app developers right here in my small little town right outside of Atlanta. And I knew I had to hire a developer. I never even thought in a million years that I would have anything to do with it, which is good because I don't have anything. I have no idea how to do any development or engineering. But I interviewed some people, and then I found a couple guys who had just started their own development company. And so I started working with them, and they've been with me since the very, very beginning and helped me create my MVP and my website and all the app and all the progress since the app and our admin portal. So they're just part of my founding team.
Fascinating. Now, as you say, you're starting off there in Atlanta. What I find fascinating is just alone, while the concept is fairly straightforward, you're dealing with people here. And that in its own right has to be a huge challenge, i.e., what about the honesty, integrity, etc. of the people and liability, especially here in America and so on? I mean, how did you overcome that? That's quite an amazing challenge in its own right, I would believe.
Yeah, well, I think that's a multifaceted answer. So first of all, one of our big differentiators is that we are hyper local. So we hire people from within several miles of where you live. So the way we break down our service areas are just sort of like large clumps of neighborhoods. And so that in of itself kind of overcomes a lot of the trust. If you look at, for example, the Nextdoor app, right, which a lot of people here in America have that, and it's spread worldwide. It's gone IPO. I mean, it's like a huge company, but you look at the posts in there and people just trust the people that live near them. They ask for recommendations. They ask if one of their neighbors can stop by and feed their cat real quick. It's just like people just tend to trust the people that live near them. So that is one obstacle to that. The other one is we're very particular in who we bring on to be our providers, our pandas, our personal assistants next door. So when I refer to them as pandas, you don't know why I'm doing that. So they, sorry, I'm puppy sitting. This puppy is now chewing on a toy. So hopefully it won't be too loud. So then the other thing is, so it isn't, while it is a marketplace, it is not something like TaskRabbit, which is one of our biggest competitors. Just really much anyone can get on there, say, this is what I do, this is what I charge, and they get on there. And they do a background check, but there's no other really screening or verification or anything like that. So what we do is we actually put out like a job posting. Our pandas will apply. And then we actually interview them all. We talk with them. We get to find out what their motivations are. Then we put them through a background check, a full identity verification. So we were pretty carefully screened. And then we interact with them pretty closely as they get going to ensure that they're doing a good job. There's no complaints, anything like that.
Wow, that's pretty intense. So now, how do you actually make money? I'm assuming you're charging a commission or whatnot of the thing. Maybe you can go through the process. Here, I'm a new customer. I just got the app. I'm looking for somebody to, what do I know, clean my house, I suppose.
Sure.
So what is the process? First, I apply as a customer, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so you'll find out about us. Up till this point, we've had almost all word of mouth and growth on like neighborhood Facebook groups, mom Facebook groups. It's been a lot of sort of organic growth like that. And so you find out about it, download the app, and then you put in your address and whatnot. We've got an automated geolocation system. So when you put in your address, it automatically assigns you to your service grove. We call them groves, like bamboo groves. So you automatically get put into that service grove. And then you can take a look. We invite people to get on an onboarding call with someone from our team to kind of just go over some of the different ways that you can use us, some of the obstacles that people have. Like the biggest obstacle that most people have is, yes, I know I need help, but I can't even slow down long enough to figure out what it is I need help with. Right. So we kind of help them sit down, look at the different needs they might have, figure out how to prioritize, figure out what items they can delegate so they can get that liberation through delegation that you mentioned at the beginning. And so we encourage them to do that. And then they put in a request and for whatever it is. OK, so very often it's, come in once a week, fold whatever laundry is in the laundry room or in the big pile on my bed, tidy up the kitchen, and I don't know, wipe down the sink in the bathroom. So that will go out to all the pandas in that area. So in this way, we're organized sort of like Uber. Whereas if you need an Uber ride, you'll put in your request and it'll go out to the Uber drivers and they will select it based on what jobs they want. So that's the sort of the way that we work as well. It goes out to all the pandas that are assigned to your service grove. They look at it and then they decide based on their skill set and schedule what they want. They accept it. Then everyone has each other's contact information, and then they communicate and work out details and whatnot. And then we charge by the hour, 30-minute minimum, and then we bill in 15-minute increments. And depending upon your membership level, you get either between $30 an hour or $44 an hour, depending on what membership level you join at.
Interesting. And so then, and presumably built into that, let's say $33 an hour, is a commission, I suppose, is the equivalent?
So we pay the pandas an hourly pay rate, and basically that is based on how long they've been with us and how many jobs they've taken on. So it starts out at $15, just to like, it's sort of their trial period, right? Till they get their first 3 jobs under their belt, goes up to $17.50. And then once they've gotten 10 jobs and they have good reviews, then they go up to $20 an hour. And we've got one higher level of pandas also that makes $22 an hour. So they get paid based on how long they've been with us. And then the members pay differing rates based on whatever monthly membership they have gotten.
Fascinating. Now, and at the moment, obviously it's in Atlanta, near Atlanta, I guess, or in Atlanta, one of the two.
Yeah.
But you clearly have plans for growth beyond, not to mention requests for that.
Yes.
The big challenge, I would imagine, here is precisely that it is so people intensive.
Yes, but I mean, Uber is people intensive. TaskRabbit is people intensive. People are required, but there's on one side of our marketplace, our supply side, we've had no issues getting pandas. I think the value proposition for that side of the marketplace is so appealing for people to work close to home, flexible schedule, doing things that they know how to do. And a big part that really motivates our pandas is that ability to help. And that's really one of the things we're looking for when we're interviewing and doing our pre-screening questions and all that, is their desire to help. So it's a really rewarding thing for people to do, to know they've walked out of another mom's house in the neighborhood and knowing that they spent 45 minutes folding their laundry, but the joy that is going to be on that mom's face when she walks in the door, it really is rewarding. So we've had really no problem with that. And right now we have tons of applications. I mean, I've got people sitting there teed up, ready to come in and work as a panda. So really, it's just a matter of marketing, getting the word out there, getting the top of funnel going, and then overcoming the obstacles as they come through the funnel till they convert, and then repeat, and then they go out and start, talking us up. So, I mean, it is people, but it's not an overcoming challenge, like a huge challenge. I mean, keeping the quality up certainly will be important, that we get our culture situated, we get our training really put in place, and make sure that our pandas know, how they're going to do the best they can do. And they're contractors too, so they're free to do what they want. But if they're getting bad reviews, then they just aren't allowed to stay on the.
Right, as you say, I mean, it's kind of like ride sharing, except with this work sharing, I suppose.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Task sharing might be a better
task and time. Really, it's about giving back the time. It's people that have a couple hours in a day that they can go out and help, and then the people that are sitting in their office, for 12 hours a day, don't have to come home and spend another 2 hours doing that work in the home, that second shift of work that is so overwhelming for so many people.
Fantastic. Now, the choice of the name My Panda, inevitably, I would imagine for most people, it's kind of, is there a Chinese connection here? Hopefully there's not, but why did you decide on that particular name?
Yeah, this is actually a funny story. So when we first came up with the idea for the company, we named it Bamboo Services, which is still our corporate name. So we envisioned bamboo popping up around the neighborhood. It's really beautiful, it's strong, it's utilitarian, and very prolific. Yeah. So we imagined that. And so we were like, hey, Bamboo Services, that's cool. And then we were like, well, what are we going to call our workers? And then we decided to call them pandas because pandas eat bamboo. And we thought it was cute and it would be a great marketing opportunity. And then we released the app. We raised a little friends and family money, developed the app, released the app as Bamboo Services. And we found that no one was calling us Bamboo. Everyone was calling us Panda. So within a couple of weeks of releasing the app, we were like, okay, hold on. Before we get any deeper in this, let's go ahead and rebrand. So we rebranded and then decided to come up with we're a personal assistant company, right? So having the PA at the beginning was a natural progression for us. Like, well, hold on, what can Panda stand for? And then we decided on personal assistant, which is what we do, next door, which gets a hyper-local context, and then app, which gets a technology. So it was perfect.
I love it. That's great. Now, when did you decide that compared to going to conventional financing, i.e. angel or VC for that matter, I suppose, that you wanted to go the equity crowdfunding route?
So we tried for a while to go the traditional angel VC. We got a couple angels / friends and family things. I got into Techstars, which was huge. So I did Techstars Atlanta, which gave us funding and also opened up our, Techstars is great. Opened up our network of mentors and whatnot. But I mean, funding is not easy to come by. And, I'm sure you're aware that, female founders get 1.9% of VC funding. So that's a teeny amount of funding to try to be going after. And I'm a solo founder and I'm trying to do everything and trying to raise money going the VC route. When I began to see that the chances of me getting any VC money was pretty slim. And so I had a bunch of people in my community, customers, a lot of like supporters that were like, man, I would love to invest a little money, but I'm not an investor, right? I don't have $20,000 to invest. And actually through Techstars, they got me in contact with someone at WeFunder. I'd also talked to Republic a while back, but WeFunder had their community round capability, which it was basically on me to go out there to my community and, raise the first 50 grand, I think is where they ask you to get to. And so, and you don't have to pay anything up front. So I was like, you know what? I don't have any money to pay anybody up front. And I've got people that want to support us. So let's just give this a go. And we had really, really great success. We had a lot of my Pandas invested, a bunch of my customers invested, Panda's family members invested. It was really, really awesome to see how many people believe in what we're doing.
No, I mean, this is one of the main, in my mind anyway, attractions of equity crowdfunding. Yes, you're there to get funding. Let's be very clear. But from a startup point of view, you're not just getting funding. You're also getting potential customers and or evangelists.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't get any better.
Very much so. Completely.
That's definitely, I think, a great direction. And also, just in case you're not aware of it, when it comes to female founders, equity crowdfunding is much, much more successful, certainly than VC anyway.
I can see that. I mean, women tend to establish collaborative relationships, right? And they tend to live in community. They tend to have stronger communities around them, and they cooperate and collaborate. So it totally makes sense.
Absolutely. Well, that is absolutely great. I'm going to let you go. We'll go ahead and get this published as soon as possible to hopefully drive a lot of campaign. And for the benefit of everyone, they can see the campaign, certainly on Next Pitch TV, but directly on WeFunder. At it's WeFunder.myPanda, is that right? WeFunder.com/mypanda. And we're closing this out. I think it's April 5th is the last day. We're at the very end of our round. So we've got about 60 grand still open on this campaign, and it's closing up in just under 2 weeks. So then we will get onto this immediately.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on to Next Pitch TV, and I wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you. You too. Thanks so much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
And there you have it. My Panda isn't just a campaign, it's a revolution in the making, empowering you to reclaim your time and achieve liberation through delegation with the personal assistant next door app. So what are you waiting for? Join the movement and let My Panda revolutionize your life. To know more about the featured campaign, subscribe now to nextpitch.tv.